Hello YouTube, my name is Jeg and this is just a little tutorial on the combat in Shroud of the Avatar, the upcoming MMO from Richard Garriott and Starlong. We have brand new ideas coming to the table in an old school look. The game looks a little old, but it's still very early alpha, and in my opinion it doesn't look as bad. Some of the screenshots, yeah, it looks a little dated, but in person it does look alright. Now there's a little bit of lag and stuff, and I've got myself highlighted, so that's why it looks like that. But all in all, it's not bad for this early in the game. But I wanted to show you, we're gonna fight that guy over there. So I got my non-combat stuff up here. One of the changes that they've made now is it actually gives you a point to sheath and unsheath your weapon. So I'm gonna take my weapons out, and all of a sudden I start getting stuff popping up down here. And it's like, well, what is that? That doesn't make any sense. Well, let me put my weapons away, and all that goes away, and I'm in my non-combat. So I can go harvest, I can skin some animals, I can find some ore. But how does the combat actually work? First off, you're going to hit K to bring up your skills, as you see I've already done a little bit of. So we got your combat skills here, and then you got your magic skills down here. So you pretty much pick how you want to play. Do you want to play, let's say, a battle mage, for example, like I have done? So you come into blades, and it's like a talent tree. Not all of these are filled in just yet, but they are... they're getting there. So blades is pretty much filled out. So I've gone ahead and added some skills. Anything you see a number here. And so if you think of these are both like talents, and they're like skills, and they're cards. So you use these cards to build a deck that you'll use to fight with. So like here I've got 1 point in thrust. That means I've got one available card of thrust. And that's a basic attack. So that'll come up a few times. Then I got 5 in double thrust, and each time it goes up, because right here, like, I can take it away, and it's like, oh, well, you get 2 points, number of cards 5, number of cards 5. So yeah, like if I put 2 points in here, I get a maximum number of cards. It says 3. It costs 2 points to get to the next one. So I've got 1 point here, which gives me a possible maximum of 2 cards. So let's go back up to double slash. Yeah, double slash. And then I got some other things in here, but whatever. But I want to be a battle mage, so I want to be able to carry around a sword and a shield, but I want to be able to throw out some fire. Let's do some fireballs. So I got a flame fist. I'm 5 points in that. Do a flame arrow from fireballs. I want to keep it very simple. Can't get quite down here yet. That would be pretty sweet if you could. Ring of fire, but see, like, this is a prerequisite. They have it in the game, it's ready to go, but you don't have this here, so we can't get to it. And maybe we can. I'm still brand new to the game. I guess I donated back in pre-release number 5, and here we are at 8. So got a little bit of. I haven't really got in here and played. I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm hearing. So that's why I'm not totally up to par with some of your other YouTubers out there. But anyway, so you build your deck, or you build out your talent trees or whatever, the skills. The big one, I guess, too, is I should say, is they've said it in various other places. You definitely need to come down here into focus, because focus will let you do stuff. So basically what we're going to do is that's hitting K. If you hit Y, you bring up your actual deck, and we'll build a deck. But, well, I guess let's just go through it. Let's just do a new deck. So these are everything we got points in over here. We have a possible chance of doing. So actually, let's go down into Earth. Let's do. That's a root. We don't want to do a root. Let's do. I think it's air. Do air. Yeah, get some lightning. So we'll put 1 point here, and we'll do a bunch of lightning. So we'll have some lightning spells. So then we come over here, and you have at least 20 cards to make up a deck. And if you don't have 20 cards in your deck, you'll get slugs. Slugs basically do nothing. So they'll just pop up. And if you think about combat as a collectible card game, you're going to be drawing cards. And depending on what you do in the focus tree, depends on what you can do over here. So like here, I've got 5 in higher consciousness. This allows me to have a maximum hand size of +5. You start with 4. So this will allow me to have 9 cards up at the bottom of my screen at any one time. Then we'll come in here to concentration, and this will give me a minimum discard speed. So the skills, like we saw earlier, they'll pop up, and then you have a certain amount of time to use them, or they'll disappear. And this will allow that to, and sorry, they're not cards, they're glyphs. But so it'll pop up and it'll stay up, and then it won't go away as fast. So it'll give us more reaction time. And then mental reflex is your maximum draw speed. So they'll come up, and it seems like at the beginning of the game you're going to be lower skill level. I don't want to say level, but you'll be lower skilled. So they'll pop up very slowly until you can get down here and start putting points into the glyph for mental reflex. Then they'll start popping up pretty quick. And because of the beta or the alpha, sorry, they pretty much unlocked everything here, so we can pretty much rock and roll right out of the gate just to do some testing. And they're testing in release 8. They're testing PvP, so that's another reason why. But if you don't like this like randomized combat, and because there is times when you'll wait, you're like, oh, I need this ranged spell or something, and I can't, so you'll just have to wait until it's drawn into your hand. So if you don't want to play that style, you can come down here and put points into these glyphs until you get to mindfulness. And this will actually, I'm sorry, actually, no, it's this one here, yeah. So this will allow cards to be locked. So you'll put your glyph down into the bar, and then these are locked. They will not change. So it's more of a traditional MMO type mentality. But they cost a higher focus, which is your blue bar, the mana. So this will go down as you do combat and stuff. So this one here will allow, when you go into traditional mode, I guess you could call it, this will allow all these to cost less, and not rather than a large amount. Because they basically said if you go to the traditional, it's fine, but you will have a longer cooldown time. Because Fireball will always be ready, so you can't just cast it willy-nilly. So there is a little bit of luck to the combat right now. It's maybe a little bit of skill as well. So we'll come in here. Because of the points that I've put in my focus, my hand size is 4, but I can go all the way up to 9. So let's do 9. My draw speed, you'll start off at very slow, and then as you skill up, you'll go faster and faster until we're at the fastest. And then your discard speed, you want to set very low. That's where eventually you'll want to get. You don't maybe need to get that far, but it'll be best if you do. So let's start adding spells here. So we did air. So let's bring it. And so now that I've got this up, this is how many cards I can possibly have in my deck of this one type. So I can have up to 5 lightning spells. So let's just drag these over. We're just gonna do fire, a little bit of fire, a little bit of lightning, and that's it. So I can't do anything else. I don't really want to mess with any of the other stuff because this is just a demo. We'll do some fireballs. So we got 5 and 5, but now, so we got 10 cards, you got 10 slugs. So if I were to stop right now, I could totally combat with this, but then I'll randomly get, which I don't know if I'm in this. I took it, but yeah. So it's just going to use my first one that I have for Battle Mage. But these will pop up, and then you'll just have random slugs that you can't do anything with. So let's get out of combat. Z is what you use to get in and out of combat. So let's go and modify. This is what we were working on. So the interesting part is, if you think about it in real time, you've got, say you're wearing heavy armor, you got big old plate, you're slow. That's going to add slugs, they say. It's going to add slugs to your, well, let's do it. I got points to spend. Well, but I don't think I have the armor. Never mind. I guess I could, but we'll see. Anyway, maybe for another video. So you're going to load those up. You're going to load everything you want, but then even though you have all that, your heavy armor will going to add some slugs to you. So you'll randomly draw up some duds, and that'll basically be like, it's just taking you longer to fight because of how slow you are. So it's kind of neat. But then we want to come in here and do some blades. We want to put 5 of these, and this is very pre-alpha. I'm sure that it's very broken, very lopsided. It's not balanced at all. So we got 5 and 5. Let's come in. What do we want to do? Let's do a couple flame arrows. I can only do 2 of those because I don't have any more points. Even though I do have plenty of points to spend, I'm not going to. And then we'll do flame fist, and we'll clear it out. We'll have all 20 of our cards. Alright, so I got my 20 cards up, and this is what we want to use. So we're going to use with our this is what you want to do for current equipment. You can switch back and forth apparently. So we're going to do use with the current equipment, and this is pull everything that I have equipped right now in. So it's just my leather stuff. It's nothing fancy. Which I guess medium armor decreases the damage on the next attack. Knockdown. So I was trying to see if I could do something to get some of these slugs to come in, but these are actually number of cards. See, I got to read more into this. I'm kind of thinking what that's going to do, but for the purpose, let's just do this. We're going to use this. We're going to click done. I'm going to modify, come back up here, and we're going to do, let's do fire and earth. Let's just do that. I was going to do battle mage, but this way I can just differentiate the two. So, and then we're going to equip this one. So this will equip the gear that I have listed, and it'll equip the cards and everything. So now we'll close out of here. Now I'm going to do. I'm going to bring up the unsheath my weapon, and we're going to start seeing those spells be randomly drawn from here. And of course, these are all grayed out because I don't have any enemies selected. So let's go over here. And now the thing is, too, if you think about in other games where you have to sit down and eat, and drink to regain your health and stamina and stuff, in this game you just sheath your weapon and your focus will come back faster. So let's go ahead and target him. And now we're gonna battle. Let's do some fireballs. Let's do some lightning. Come on now, shocking. Double slash. And I don't think I'm at a hard place, but there you go. And I have found I do have a Razor Naga, but because everything comes up so random, for whatever reason, see, those are starting to drop off because they've run out of time, and then they'll draw more. So it'll probably run through, and then these will drop off. But I find that clicking is my preferred method rather than using the Naga. I guess when I'm into it more, I will totally probably go back to the Naga, but for right now, I'm just running the clicking because I'm still like, oh, what's up? That's why I also went with a very simple deck for the beta or the alpha. I keep saying beta, and I'm sorry, but I want to keep it simple. Keep it simple, especially when you're just testing. So, since I'm still out here. So you notice my health bar is coming back very slowly. Apologies if you hear my baby in the background. He's wanting to chit-chat with us. So I'm gonna sheath my weapon, and then you'll see this start to move up much more rapidly. English is a hard language, I guess. All right, so you see all of these trees. Not everything in the world is destructible, but I see a tree, so I want to go after it. See, I can't click on that one. Can't do it. But what I can do is there was a red one down here. That's your signal. This one right here I can click on. Then I can come over here and I can chop it down. But the animation's really not finished for that, and then it just falls over, and then I get wood. Maybe I should rephrase that. So that'll bring that up, and then in my inventory it's got everything I've ever done. So I really wanted to make a bigger, longer video going over a lot more, but I ran out of time before the beta or the alpha. God, and I have to work and stuff tomorrow. So that is it. That is combat in a nutshell. It's interesting. It looks like it's going to be. I know there's a lot of outrage on the forums right now about people wanting this. This wasn't supposed to be about combat. It was supposed to be about the world and about what you can do in it, and just more of the, I guess, the Ultima online type days, and not so much about super advanced combat stuff. But it's still pretty fun. Still could lend itself nicely, and I don't think it's super difficult. Maybe in the open PvP where you have to be really tactical, and there's going to be your best builds for this and that and all that. But I think all in all, it's pretty solid for right now, especially first little pass through. Now, the other thing I want to mention real quick, for those of you who I know I'm going to tweet this to, so these are scenes. So even though it's an open world, it's not. See, this is like a wall. You can almost see it. You can almost tell the difference between the trees and then those trees. But if you come down and you leave the zone, so it's like little mini zones. So it's written kind of different. It's a different concept. And people say, well, this breaks the immersion. I guess it kind of does, but just think of like the Super Nintendo days when we used to travel around and stuff. While you're in it and you are your avatar, it's very immersion heavy. But when you're out here, do you really want to walk all the way up here with nothing going on? And you'll be able to see the grid. This is actually a bunch of, I believe it's octagons or maybe hexagons, all laid together. It's all tiled, so that's why you move. You click once. I can't move now for whatever reason. But this is how you move around. It'll eventually be your avatar, and then you double click or just click on it, and we're going to go to the main city, the early main city. And but it's still, when you get in it, it's good. Now Owl's Head it's got a lot going on, so it's so far the least performance. I think that's maybe why they put the new people down at the southern end of the map. But it's a neat little 3D map. At first, it was just a cloth map or a drawn map, I guess, and now it's like a full 3D experience. I personally don't mind it. It's just like taking a flight path. What's immersion breaking about that, you know? Instead of the monotonous, just super long distance traveling, like in Worm Online, I can travel for 3 hours. Now, part of that is cool, but it's also awful. Like when you're riding a boat and you're riding that boat for literally 8-9 hours, it's some people are okay with that. I personally hate it because I've got kids and a job and all this, and I can't dedicate just hours upon hours to just traveling. You know, I want to actually play. So I think it's a good compromise. I don't mind it. It doesn't really break the immersion too much. The loading screen's okay. As much as I want a virtual world, you're still playing a video game at the end of the day, you know. So here we are. And I do want to get this in on my first video too. And I'll have these much more planned out and then structured going forward. But like this guy here, you're like, hey, who are you? So I'm going to double click on him. And he says like, hello. I double click, basically you're telling the NPC hello. And then he's like, oh, good day, blah, blah, blah. And here's all the stuff I can buy. And I can actually buy stuff this time around because I actually did some questing. But because I got 2,100 gold, which seems awful high for the amount that I actually did work. But I can buy a couple things. Now my dogs are going to fight. So let's get out of here. And now I'm going to come over here to this guy. And see, that's the other thing. I don't really know how. Let me just walk up to him and I can type hello. And then he's like, hey, what are you doing? But I opened this chat up with him. Let me see, what can I say? Because they want you to talk to him. What do you have to buy? Let's see. Does that bring anything up? Oh, look. He knows exactly what I want. So it kind of brings that little old school MMO venture back. Then if I say, do you have work? No, he does not. Hello. Do you have work? So they don't. But there's a couple people running around here who you can talk to. Lord Zine, I believe that's an actual player. Maybe because he has a health bar, I don't know. This is a village hut. This is what this guy has. Emmett Brown, congratulations, you have a castle. Pretty sweet. So, that's a little bit of the game. I like how you have to walk around. I wanted to get into questing a little bit, and how you have to go actually talk to the guy, and then he writes into your journal. And see, there's a couple people that I've talked to here, but then they kept telling me, hey, you need to go up north and talk to Owl's Head, and then talk to Lord Inmar. And I couldn't tell that this was Owl's Head until I came up here. Now, I played in the earlier alphas, so I knew where it was, but still, it's the point of, like, you're collecting clues, old school. And you can play this as a single-player game, or you can play it online with the other people. And preferably, for me, I'm going to play with everybody else, and because even the open world PvP is only going to be in certain zones. So I don't know how how much of that I will get angry with, and if I'm getting camped too bad, I switch it over to single player. I don't know. It's kind of still a weird concept in my head, but it's cool that you have those options, because some people will just want to play this as a single player MMO. But anyway, so I talked to Inmar. I finally found him. He was up north of this place, and you tell by the compass up here, because as far as I can tell, there's not a map. There's not an overhead map. Maybe you need to make one or build one or whatever. But so I went all the way north until I finally found him, and then he told me that he was they've been having trouble with these bandits and skeletons. So to go kill them, and then he would give me some stuff, and he gave me 50 gold per sash. Well, I was killing them, I was getting like 200 and 300 per kill. Then I was bringing them back here and getting like another bunch. But this is very early stages of the questing, but it was still, that's all I did. I played for a few hours last night, and I literally just went, found these bandits, killed them, got their sashes, turned them in, got the skeletons gave 50 gold per the corpse wax, but the bandits gave me 30 per red sash. But it just felt like you were in the world and you were chatting. I say that as this guy's just like floating around and hovering, but Al's head's very buggy. But yeah, I say all that, and it was oddly very entertaining, because I was not like, you don't see anybody out here with just question marks or exclamation marks and just like, oh, well, I know I need to go talk to him. Like, I actually had to think about what I was doing. And then the cool part is, like, I'm looking for this guy, and I'm like, where is this guy at? So I come up here and I'm like, do you know where Inmar is? I may not know it, but I could find out. No? So that was a bad example as well. I really need to think these videos out. But anyway, I went and found a villager, and they were like, oh, he's up there. And then I kept going further north, and then they're like, oh, he's up north of the market, like right north of the market. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm just asking NPCs, and they're telling me where to go. It was pretty neat. There's a little bit of lag spike there. So let's do this. This is the guard, but you gotta have him selected. Hello. Greetings, Outlander. See, it opens up another tab, so now you know you're talking to him and not out here. I was like, so, do you have work? See, first you should probably be at the Firelord's Tavern. The bartender knows a great deal about the area. I would also recommend visiting our office of the office of our commanding officer, Lord Inmar. Where is Inmar? Inmar is our Lord, adding words. He's our commander. Talk to him if you need to know more. So see, it's kind of neat how you can have conversations to gather clues. It doesn't just say, hey, go here, do this. Hey, go here, do this. You have to actually put it together and make it happen. So that's pretty sweet. Maybe next time, Beta 9 in 1 month, I'll go over some of the crafting. I'll probably start a fresh, you start a fresh character each time, but I'll start a fresh character and just record right from the beginning. This is another little thing that I noticed, and I had to look it up on the forums. I was like, what is going on? So they said they didn't want you to just run right through an NPC because it's immersion breaking, but they also didn't want you to hit this guy like somebody just stand in the way of this gate and then you can't get by. So what you do is you come up and then it makes you walk and then you can take off. So it's kind of like, just suspend belief here, and you're just walking through them, but you're really walking around them. So see, I'm like, I can't walk through this sheep, so I gotta walk like that. It's just the little things, little touches, but we're very early. Come up here. I forget exactly where the market is. I think I need to go up through. It's very, very laggy up around here. This is a little crafting huts and stations here. So you can open this up, and this will be like tanning and leatherworking, stuff like this. So this is what I can do. These are the things that I need. And then I've got up here. So I don't think I can make any of it, so I can't really. This is all I know so far. There'll be more eventually. And I don't think I really have any of any of the abilities or skills just yet. I do have some wood though. What can I make? Can I make anything? Can't make anything yet. So if I come down, I can make a wooden board. Needs a timber and a cubit measurement, but a processed wood. Processed wood you can do with wood and a cubit measure. Now we know we have that. I found the cubit over in one of the chests. So, and it is a cubit measure. Cubit measure, drag that up here. Now I need to go get some wood. Bring that up here. So this is... Oh, but it's not letting me make it. Why not? Wood. Cubit. Oh, you know why? Because it needs to be exact. So I can only do... Oh, whoops. I want 4. So I bring those back down to my inventory. Now I've got the right amount and I can craft this. Hopefully I've got all my levels straight in my mixer and you heard that. Now we've got tree bark, a wooden board, and a timber is what I left on the table because that's what my byproducts and products were. And then I'm going to take all my stuff. So, make some boards and some stuff. And I wonder if... I don't think I can. I come over here to the carpentry table. And you can do all this in your house too, so that's pretty sweet. So you need a wooden board, a wooden pole. I can't make a pole yet. And a carpentry hammer. Yeah, I don't have any poles yet, so I have to make all that. But it's component building, and then you build other stuff on top of it. And it's very Worm Online-ish, and I like that. So I definitely got my eyes on this game. If you want to check it out, go over to shroudoftheavatar.com. Please hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed this. This was a terrible first attempt at a video, but we're going to go forward with this and play some games and record them and chit-chat about them. And this one's going to have a little special place, I can tell. I like it. It's very rough around the edges, and I like that. It's very old school. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Until next time.